Hi, hey everybody. How are you? Welcome to Acting from All Angles. Today we're going to talk about the Bear resume. I just tried to do this Facebook Live and I said a word on it that I think got me blocked. And so they took down this video, which isn't that funny. This is hilarious. I didn't even say a naughty word. I just said something that suggests bareness. Anyway, we're going to talk about that today on Acting from All Angles. I'm so glad you're here. First, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Julianne Lichty Stratton, and I am the creator of Actors in Action Professional Actor Training, where we empower the passionate actor with the craft and skill to have a serious acting career. So we're going to be talking about resumes and a bare resume. If you don't have a lot on your resume, we're going to be talking about that. And first of all, we're going to be talking about a story that kind of illustrates that. So you all are familiar with The Emperor's New Clothes, that fairy tale. If you're not, let me tell you briefly, these little swindlers come to town and they have this imaginary cloth and they talk the emperor into the fact that they are the best tailors in the world. They're going to make this amazing outfit for him for the new parade. They do it. And the thing with this is if you can't see the clothes, that means you're dumb. So everybody comes in, all the counselors, and they're like, oh, dude, you look awesome. The emperor's like, oh, it looks so good, right? And then he goes out on his parade and he's walking around, strutting his stuff. And a little kid was like, hey, you don't have any clothes on. And the emperor's like, what? And then he feels like an idiot. So do you ever feel that way about your resume because you don't have a lot of stuff on it? You just feel like a fraud and like you're going to expose yourself if you even try to get out there and even try to do anything. That's a real thing out there, right, you guys? Especially if you're starting out. You're just like, I don't have anything on my resume. And you're up against that catch-22 that makes us want to pull all of our hairs out for actors of how do I get something if I don't already have something that makes me, I'm supposed to get it? Like, how can I get auditions if I need a resume to get an agent or to go out there and show people that I'm working? It's such a hard code to crack. It's really hard and it makes you feel so bad. I know that that's how a lot of people felt. I felt that way. I've even felt that way with having a good resume. Sometimes you still like, feel like you're a fraud. You compare yourself to other people. Oh, Ashley's here. Ashley, how are you? So you compare yourself to other people. You're like, well, look at their IMDb page. They've got like co-stars for every sitcom and everything. And they've been in, big, huge movies and they've been in a ton of them and all that kind of stuff. So it's really easy to just fall into that disbelief and that fraudulent thing. You just think you're a big fraud. So let's address that. Let's address that. What can we do about that? First of all, I want to tell you that the fact that you want to act, that you have passion to act, means that you belong here. Means that you have a right to act. If you want to act, you can act. You can learn to act at least, and you need to trust that. So you need to believe in yourself. First of all, that's where it starts. I just have so many examples of that in my studio, in my classes. I have people that come in that maybe don't have a big aptitude for acting. They just don't really seem to get it, but darn it, do they have passion? And they work and they work. And guess what? Pretty soon, 6-8 months, maybe, they work, they start being able to act. It's incredible to me to see that. It's so hopeful. And so I used to be of the mind that like either you have it or you don't. Yeah, you can learn some skills, but whatever. But I have been proven wrong by that over and over and over. And it's so exciting to see that. I would much rather take an acting student with passion than with tons of talent and flakiness. Because the person who is passionate is going to get there because they're going to put the work into it. So if you have that desire, feed that desire and know that that is what's most important, okay? So you have that, you have your desire, great. You get a great class, you go to the class, you start working hard, you get better and better and better. So then what do? You got to build up that resume, right? So the next thing you can do is you can start taking more classes. Classes can go on a resume, all right? You can take workshops, take an improv class, take an improv. Casting directors love improv actors. They love it. So take that. You don't want to take a ton of classes, so it's all classes, but take 2 or 3 or 4 classes. Get on there and get your resume, get some classes on there. All right, so you've got your classes, and then just start auditioning for anything you can, paying, non-paying. Look for stuff. You want speaking roles, don't want to put extra work on your resume. If you want speaking roles, so look for what's out there and start auditioning. Audition your little heart out and be prepared and go in there and show them your passion. The next thing you can do is you can also have your friends and you put together a short film. You can put together a play. You can do things like that. You don't want to have your whole entire resume be my production productions. You don't want it all to be that, but you can do that. You can just put stuff in your resume and they're legit. You're actually doing a play, you're actually doing a short. And also if you do a short film, you're going to be able to use that for your reel if it's beautifully shot. And remember, we talked about that at my last Facebook Live about shooting a beautiful, wonderful clip for your reel. So those are some ways you can do it, right? You slowly build, but it comes from that belief. It comes from that passion. It comes from knowing that you are not a fraud because you have this passion. That's the key. The key is passion. Okay, so I have a quick little story about a friend of mine that I knew at acting school who became very, very famous, and she had a very sparse resume when she started out. Of course, she went to my school. She auditioned for a bunch of agents in New York afterwards, as we did at our school, and she got picked up by some really big agent, which was awesome. And she was being sent out constantly for big stuff. And the problem was, though, that, well, it wasn't just the only problem, but she was new, but she didn't really have anything on her reel, and she felt kind of embarrassed. I mean, on her resume, she felt kind of embarrassed about that and kind of like a fraud. And all she had was her school training and a couple of shows she had done at school. And I remember at school, she always got cast in these teeny roles. I don't know why. They did, it's so ironic. They did Streetcar Named Desire, and she got cast. She didn't get cast in that. She didn't get cast as Blanche, which she should have. She got a teeny tiny, like, non-speaking role in another show, which she actually ended up doing Streetcar Blanche at the West End. So if you look at who that is later on. But she kept getting looked over at school. So she didn't have she didn't have cool parts to put on her resume for that. Anyway, she goes into audition for this brand new pilot for this really cool show that's going to come out, TV show. And the people looked at her resume and they're like, oh, okay, this kid is let's see what she can do. And also her agent had lied about her age. She was much younger than the role was, but she said she was older. So she did her audition, and people were like, oh my gosh, the casting were like, that was amazing, and looked at her resume again. They're just like, how can this be? And then they had her do it again to see if it had been a mistake. And she did it again, and she just did it just as well. And they were like, wow. So they booked her. She got the lead in a very famous TV show, which she did for years. And I'm just not going to tell you who it is. I don't know. I just, you can maybe figure it out. But anyway, so it can happen. She was talented. She had belief in herself, and she worked really hard. And boom, she got this thing with a little flimsy resume. So don't be like moaning about your resume, okay? Just believe in yourself with that. So I have something special for you today, just as a little consolation thing, a little fun prize. I'm going to send you the link to this resume template. It's quite cool. As you can see, it has where you can put your name. It's in Word, so you can just type things in. It's got film and television, theater, training. Is this the right one? Anyway, you'll see it. And if you notice, everything's pushed to the left. So when you do this, all you have to do is take this and staple it to your headshot like that. And then you just cut away a little bit on this side and a little bit on this side, and it'll be perfectly aligned for your headshot. So let me get that link for y'all right now. It's right here. There you go. So happy resumeing. And for those of you also out there that are interested in working with us online for doing some training, I'm going to send you our audit assessment form. So we are taking new students, and if you are interested, just fill that out. We get to know who you are. We get to know, we're always looking for people who are a fit, who we think are a fit for AIA, because I'm super passionate about who I train, and so I'm kind of selective about it. So if you want to fill that out, you can set up an appointment, and we can see how it goes. So again, you guys, no resume fraud. You are as good as you desire to act, all right? So believe in that and go out there and kick some butt. Kick some butt. All right, have a great one. I will see you next time. This is Julianne Lichty from Acting from All Angles.